Yes.
recording.
Do I even have anything new? Well, kind of. Okay. But it's part of my work in progress, so.
Hi, and welcome to episode 56 of Two Crafty Stitches. Today is April 11th, 2018. I'm only a month ahead.
Well, I mean, we did lose an hour of sleep last night.
We did.
So, yeah.
I am Sandy, also known as Knits and Bits.
And I'm Kelly, also known as Pearly Girl 75. And yes, it is March 11th, but we are not recording near. This is the closest we get to St. Patrick's Day, so we're doing St. Patrick's Day festiveness.
I was already on my way and didn't wear any green, so.
So I provided a thing for you to wear.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yay. Wow.
I could wear this to the concert too.
You should.
People behind you will be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so annoying."
Yes. So Kelly,
Yes.
I actually have some new items.
Okay. I want to see them
Okay, so first,
because I have a new item, but it's part of what I'm working on, so I'll just show it then.
I was up in Jacksonville, and I decided, let me just stop at Hobby Lobby and see what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And in their clearance section, they had this knitting book
Okay.
on sale from $20 to $7.18. The Knitted Nursery Collection.
Oh, nice.
Now, I am definitely the type of person that will go and just buy an entire book for one pattern.
Well, especially if it's $7.18. Because
know.
really, if you were to buy one pattern on Ravelry, it would probably be like $5 or more.
And it all depends on what it is. Now,
yeah, but I was going to say, but it would probably be at least $5 or more. And then for like an extra $2, you get a whole bunch of extra patterns that you never know you might use.
I love that baby blanket.
Oh, that's really cute.
It is. It's a mix between like knit and regular fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the bunnies on it.
Yes.
It just but then, after I decided I was going to buy it from that, there was a bunch of other cute stuff.
Okay. Oh,
Like
those are cute too.
These elephants.
No.
What?
Ollie and Polly elephant.
You have to have some elephants in your life. But the other main thing, I mean, they have like a squirrel you can make with the pom-poms. A squirrel blanket. Hold on, wait. That one's smaller. Ginger
Cute.
blanket. Yeah, I decided I just have to have this. But
Oh, the butterflies.
yeah, and then there's like little birds.
Yeah.
But I love this pillow with these birds on it. I'm like, I could have that in my house.
I was gonna say you could put that anywhere.
I know.
You can also put the bunny blanket anywhere too. You can have that in your house.
I just have to make it bigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is my new book that I got. And then you can also make a stuffed bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Birdie and bee bunnies. There we go. So.
Oh, there's an owl on a pillow.
Yeah, there was an owl. There's like a few other things. I didn't show you guys everything.
Yeah.
But it is the Knitted Nursery Collection by Jim Weston. 14 cuddly toys and colorful accessories for babies.
Nice.
Or, if you're like me, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a baby. I don't know. So then, on my way back, I made the mistake of looking online and saying, oh, hey, there's a knitting store a little bit out of my way. I'm going to stop there because I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some sock yarn. It's the Lang Jowl
Okay.
color. And it's,
Well, that's that's not the color.
Yeah, but it's Jowl color.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually, I don't think it actually
Very
has like,
jewel toned.
yeah, a color name. But what was awesome is these come with reinforcements that's color matched.
Oh, nice.
And it's
I was
just
gonna say, I
shoved in
think
there.
somewhere in my stash I have a skein of that, but it doesn't have anything like that, the reinforcement stuff. But it's like a gradient, and it's black and green by that company.
And I also got gray and blue. Look how pretty that is. The blue just pops. And it also has the reinforcements in there.
Nice.
I have the card down here somewhere of where I went. It was Yardworks
Mm-hmm.
in Gainesville.
Okay.
It was very nice it was a Friday afternoon. There was a lot of people in there. So we talked and I found some fiber. I went a little bit outside of my normal scope of colors for this.
Uh-huh. Just grooming the dog. She had like a thing stuck in her face, in her mustache beard thing. and it was bothering me.
So,
Mm-hmm.
outside of the colors.
Okay.
For this fiber. But it's also a local person in Gainesville.
Okay.
Look at the like orangish, pink,
What is
red,
that, like
and yellow.
Silk or bamboo?
It's BFL and silk.
Okay. Because it's very shiny.
Oh, hold on. No, wait.
It
No.
looks like bamboo.
This is merino and tencel.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I picked up the other one because they
Oh.
were having the BFL and silk. So,
Oh.
But I went with this one because
Very
this was
shiny.
more outside of my
Mm-hmm.
range. The other one was like red and blue, and then in the middle was pastels.
Oh.
So I have no idea what I'm going to do with this.
And who did that? Who's the
Good
what
question.
company is it?
Euphoric Fibers.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see. Okay, they have it. Their info. So that is their name.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to reach out to them, you can email them at ginger@euphoricfibers.com or jane@euphoricfibers. So
Now, what's the colorway name?
they do not have a colorway
Oh,
name.
okay.
I was a little disappointed on that because I'm like, that's how I pick the colors when I'm between a few is
Yeah.
by their names.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only suggestion I would have for her.
It reminds me of Starburst candies, so that's what I'm going to call it.
It does. You're gonna have to help me think of what I'm gonna do with this.
Okay. Spin
It's
it.
4 ounces. I know, but for the finished project, because I really have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it's going to depend on how you spin it too. If you spin it
Yeah.
and ply it and stuff.
Well, I am gonna apply it.
Well,
and
I mean,
am
but
gonna
how?
spin it.
Like, are you going to do like it just like as a chain ply or a 2 or 3 ply? Are you going to fractal spin it? You know, all
Yeah,
those
I don't
things.
know.
See?
So, and then the other thing they inform me of,
Mhm.
and this is something we won't be able to do, unfortunately,
Okay.
because it's next weekend.
Oh yeah,
It's-
we're busy next weekend.
We are. It is the Florida Tropical Weavers Guild and Friends annual conference
Oh.
for March 15th through the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
And
We'll have to look into that for next year.
yeah, it's up in Leesburg.
Okay.
They have weaving, spinning, knitting, bunch of other stuff, basket weaving, metal smithing, what? Jewelry making, just like a whole random
Oh.
bunch of stuff. And it's a 4 days of exploring your favorite fiber art or learning a new one.
Hey, maybe next year it'll fall over my spring break.
Maybe. So
Because
they
I
have
have
a
spring break's a
fashion
week later
show.
next year.
Oh no, we'll see.
Yeah.
So it was a nice store. I liked it. There was a lot of stuff. Oh, hold on, wait. I also have something else
Okay.
because I'm actually using it. There's a little tag that came with it. Oh no,
I don't know.
I won't remember the name of this thing.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is unfortunate. I put it in here. So anyways, while I was there, oh, there it is.
Oh.
I found these needles.
Okay.
And they didn't have a size 1. They had a size 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a size 0. So I went with the 0 because 1.5 is kind of big for socks for me sometimes.
Yeah.
And they are for sock needles or doing something in the round.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to butcher this because it's not English. Strixspinel?
It looks like it's in German though, and
I
you were
know.
doing all that German stuff.
I know,
so
but
you
I
should be
haven't
able to
for
say
a
it.
while. So anyways, they are bent.
Oh, I've seen something like
Needles.
that. I think a different company did them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they also have it. Oh, that's all.
I was
good
gonna
stuff.
say that looks nice. They're so easy to use.
Well, it's the yarn barf that came out of my Perfect.
Yeah.
So, and I think I just pulled one of the needles out.
I was gonna
Wow,
say,
this is just like
how many
great.
needles does it have?
It's
Okay.
3
I was gonna
needles.
say because that didn't make any sense.
No, 'cause
Like,
I
what do you
threw
knit
one
on?
out.
Okay.
So, let me put this back in there because getting that yarn barf, it just
Yeah.
pulled it out. The only thing is, because I got the size 1, they only had it in plastic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a big fan of the plastic. I
Oh.
wish that it was the wool, or not the wool, the wood.
I wish my needles were made of wool.
That would be very interesting.
Uh-huh. Stiffened wool.
Wouldn't know what to do with it. Okay, so let me see.
You know, because I've seen, there was another, it might have been this company, but I saw a while ago someone posting, I think it was 4 Pearls or something, we're talking about those type of needles or something. Yeah. And now, you know, Addie has come out with knitting needles for socks that are like 2 short ones with a very short cable in between, so they're flexible.
Yeah, like so this
I'm sorry, I stopped petting the dog for 2 seconds.
The dog?
The dog. I stopped petting her for 2 seconds.
So it reduces the ladders in it.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, it's, when I first saw it, I'm like, this is going to be really confusing, but it's really not.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
It's just, I mean.
Yeah, those are flexible, too.
I don't know.
But if they were metal, they wouldn't be.
Well, the wood ones, they're a little bit more like that.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that the flexibility is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you have one side like that, and the other side, you're just knitting straight across.
Oh. Okay.
So, I don't know. I think I would like it if it was a little bit more rigid myself.
Okay.
But that's just me. So ignore my huge yarn barf. But I'll just go into the works in progress and
go ahead.
Do that.
I do have a finished object, too, to talk about after we're done with our works in progress.
I have 2-ish.
Okay.
So, with this one, I pulled out that Perfect that I had that I got. Was it in Kansas?
Maybe.
No, it was Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Alabama. Brown striped sock yarn is the colorway. But I saw online where it was like called, you know, like Woods or Woodland or something.
Well,
so
I think sometimes with that it depends on where you get it, because like a lot of times those just have like a colorway number.
Oh, and yeah.
Remember when I bought you
7116.
Right, when I bought yours, it had a colorway number, but the people who were selling it called it like granite or something, which is why I bought it for you. I was like, oh, it's granite. I need to get to my water, and my water is like way far, and the dog is impeding me, and this is going to be really interesting viewing, I'm sure. Okay.
So I just started those. And then the other thing I'm working on is my blanket for my soldier. There we go.
Yeah.
Owl. I started the second
Ow.
the whatever second skein.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little bit of it done. So we'll see if I need to put on.
And what yarn is that you're using? I'm just gonna. I feel like I'm interviewing you.
You are. I'm not prepared.
It's an interview kind of thing happening.
It's Barcelona in the color dusk.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I don't really picture this being a colorway dusk.
Well, I mean, it looks just very on the screen.
I know.
You can't really see the colors. There you go. But no, that's like, I don't know.
It's like
the dark of night.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's like browns and some blues and some purples, like down here.
Yeah.
And some dog fluff from one of their toys that I knitted in there. That's awesome. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch your eyes so I don't poke you. So, that's my 2 current objects I'm working on.
All right. I like my little shirt, but the neckline is driving me crazy right now. I can't tell because like the computer screen's backwards, so I keep pulling on the wrong side. And I'm sorry that I just flashed y'all my bra strap for like half a second. We all wear them. It's okay.
Unless some people don't.
We all know people who wear bras.
There we go. So what do you have?
I have a work in progress that I'm going to attempt to show while balancing a dog on my knees here because she won't move today. But I am working on a new pair of socks, and it is out of some Patons Kroy socks in the Meadow Stripes colorway.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my, yay. My pearlless monkey, of course, because I do them like at lunch when I have free time. And so it's just an easy pattern to do. That doesn't take too long. But the Patons Kroy yarn is a lot thicker than other sock yarns. We've
Yeah.
talked about this before. So I feel like these are going to wear very well, but I tried them on and they do fit. They just seem very like they could stand up on their own. Like they're at this point where you could just be like, oh.
And the Patons, like the FX yarn, is even thicker.
Yeah.
Which,
because I started making it, I was like, I don't know, I might need to go up a needle size, but then if I do that, they'll be too big.
Yeah.
So whatever, they're just gonna be very hard wearing socks, I guess. And then I started another project, which is one of my things that I bought, which is some more of my Lion Brand mandala yarn. And you will have seen this color before because it is the Spirit colorway that Sandy was working on for her, what was that? The cardigan.
My cardigan that I set aside.
Yeah.
Because I'm that kind of person.
I started making a baby blanket for someone, and it's just a giant granny square. And it's for a boy. So I was like, oh, it's blues, but it's like blues and the grays and stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's
not like your typical like, oh, baby blue, because they it has this pop of that color in it too. So that blue. And so
that's why I love that color.
Yeah, so I'm going to. I bought an extra. I have an extra skein of it over there because I don't know how big because I always make baby blankets like huge. I make it like not just for baby, but that way they can like
put it on their twin size bed.
Right. So why not? So I'm definitely going to use like this whole skein, and then I'll see about how big it is at that point if I'm going to use the second skein. But we'll see. So I was working on that today while I was catching up on television programs.
Awesome. So you weren't knitting, you were crocheting.
I was crocheting, yes. But John thought I was knitting because he was in the other room. I just was looking in for a minute. But anyway, so that's another thing I'm working on. But I have a finished project.
So you jump into your finished project.
So I finished these socks.
Yay!
That are the Knit Picks Felici in the bubble colorway, and they're again Pearl as monkeys. And look at, I matched them up almost exactly, except that on the second sock, like I ended up ending
just a little bit off, but
it's a couple rows off.
That's okay.
And remember I was saying that these socks I thought were not going to fit me, but they do fit me, so they're mine.
And they match.
And they match.
So speaking of finished socks, I just have not woven in the ends because I finished them. Well, all of my stuff is like a mess today.
I know.
What the heck's going on?
I don't know what's going on over there.
Oh, I do have still have my needle on it. So I could have woven it in.
Yes.
I just didn't.
You chose not to.
I was like getting ready for bed. I'm like, I have to finish these before I go to bed. So it is. What kind of yarn was this?
I think it's Patons.
I think it's Patons too.
Patons Croy socks.
Yeah.
In some other
mulberry? Color. No, amethyst stripes.
Okay.
So.
As opposed to meadow stripes.
Yes. And I did not do a pearless monkey. I did the tadpole. Which you can kind of see it, which looks very similar, in my opinion.
It looks more like a nutkin to me.
Yeah.
Than a.
Well, it has like the same properties type thing. So, mine do not match up at all. But
one of them looks like it's okay. The way you're holding it or whatever.
Yeah, because I was holding it like that.
Okay.
Because I like to try and match things up, but no.
Yeah.
But.
Well, no, I mean, one of them looks like it's a lot shorter than the other one in the foot. But maybe that's because you just had your hand in one of them and stretched it out.
Oh, and this one's a little messed up how it's sitting. No, because I did it.
Because it was like one foot looked like it was this long, and the other one was like it was like this.
No, I did them at the exact same time. So
these are the feet of your socks. This is my representation of the feet of your socks,
and
what they looked like when you were holding them.
That would have been amazing if I could do that, but no. And then.
I mean, I know like a lot of people have different sized feet. Like mine,
Mine are a little bit different.
Mine are too, but they're not that different. They're not like.
So I also need to weave in the ends on this.
So your finished objects are almost finished.
They're finished enough for me.
The knitting is finished.
Yes.
Yes.
And
they're finished enough for me. I'll just gift them with ends hanging out. And
they can weave it in.
The baby can weave it in.
Yeah. Self-sufficient.
They can just chew it off.
So this is the, I don't even have that thing. What was it? The Ondas
Something like that.
Fiber Crack baby blanket that I've been working on for a while.
Another big baby blanket.
Yes.
I like giving big baby blankets, though.
See, I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure how big this was going to be, but
well, that's because you were knitting it
in the round.
Yeah, in the round. So
and that's
it was all
why
bunched up.
it needs to be blocked out and washed, so it looks a little like puckery.
Yeah.
I need to get all like my dog hair out. This was also in the mandala.
Yes.
With Sphinx colorway. Yes. So
I might have bought myself a skein of that when I was at the store buying the Spirit colorway because I was like,
because it's so nice.
It is, and I was like, I could make a scarf or something for myself out of that.
I mean, I even like this brown. I'm not too fond of this like color here.
Yeah, well,
but it wasn't.
I have a cardigan in that color, so
yeah. Well, I'm
like
so not fond of it. I'm fond of all the other colors.
Yeah.
I don't despise it.
Right.
So, yep.
Yes, it turned out very, very nice.
And that was half of my owl. And I finished it the month after I took a picture of my halfway point. But I finished it during our halfway point. Okay. So I'm more like 75% of the way done with my owls because this is my other half of that one for my Harry Potter knit and crochet house cup.
Okay.
So, yep. That's all I really have.
Yes.
Over here.
That's all I have too, which is not a lot today.
Yeah. I know
I've been busy though.
One of the first times I've had more new items than you.
I know. Well, I've been very, very busy, so I haven't had time to purchase any new items. So, because I've been rehearsing.
Yes.
All of the things.
And I was out of town, so I went shopping.
Yep.
So one of my non-knitting new things is I bought my plane tickets for June.
Nice.
I am going to be flying out to Kansas in June on a Friday, spend the night with my dad, and then him and I are going to fly out to Seattle the next day.
Okay.
And I talked this over with him for quite a while, and it wasn't until after I was driving here where I'm like, oh, there might be a problem.
Uh-oh.
Because then we're going to be flying back a week, I guess a week from the next Saturday. So we'll be there. I'll be gone for 8 days.
Okay.
And I'm flying into Kansas. We land at 3:20 through Alaskan Airlines. And then my flight out is like around 5 o'clock with Southwest. I'm going to be checking my bags into Alaskan.
Oh.
And then I have to go, and I called before I got here because I'm like, oh no. I'm going to have to go pick them up from baggage claim, go check them in with Southwest before my flight out at 5.
It's cutting it very, very close.
It is, but Alaskan has a 20-minute baggage claim guarantee, so I should have my bags there within 20 minutes.
Assuming your flight's on time.
Yeah. So, and that the other flight isn't going to be early.
Right.
Or there isn't going to be a huge issue going through security.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't think that one through.
Yeah.
So,
you might have to like FedEx or UPS your stuff home.
See, I thought about that because my dad's just going to like send his through FedEx or UPS. But I just shipped my sister a package that weighed 16 pounds for like $40-some. Yeah. My clothes are going to be a lot more than 16 pounds. I can guarantee that.
Plus, you never know, you'll probably buy yarn and stuff too.
And both of the flights have 2 free bags.
Yeah.
Because my dad does not fly economy, apparently. So he's like, we're flying first class. I'm like, okay. I'm paying for like 2 different air things here then.
Well, Southwest, though, at least they don't really have a first class, do they?
No, but we're doing Alaskan.
I know, but you're also flying, you said, then Southwest on the way from there. Yeah. And I like that they have the 2 free bags thing.
Alaskan has the 2 free bags. I'm not sure if it's because he
maybe
said
we're
doing
first
people
class get 2 free bags and everyone else does not. I don't know.
Yeah. They all have to pay for it.
It's a perk.
Because those tickets are not cheap.
Yeah.
It was like $800. So.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen my dad in quite a while.
Mhm.
Well, I guess not quite a while.
Well,
So,
still.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that'll
been
be
like half a
nice.
year.
Yeah.
So, and he hasn't seen my sister's family in years.
Mhm.
Like, probably 8, 9 years now.
Oh.
So, and we're going out there for Casey's graduation.
Right.
That's I guess my sister's second child. Yeah.
Yes.
Second. So.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I have been busy rehearsing the show that I'm in, which is next month. So we're like a month out from performances. And
is it a month already?
Well, yeah, it's a month from this coming week because it's April 13th and we're on March 11th now. So
oh man.
Yeah. So things are going to get even busier because there's going to be more rehearsals a week. I've been having like 2 to 3 a week, and I think starting this coming week I have 4 every week. So so things are going to get a little more hectic. So probably less crafting time for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be that person in rehearsal who's like, well, I'm not on stage right now, so I'm just going to sit here and knit or something, since it is my first performance with this group. When there are things I could be doing to help out with the performance. So
most definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've been doing that. In fact, today I was catching up on some television programming, like The Magicians. I got caught up on their most recent episode.
I'm way behind.
And I was way behind, and I took one day last weekend, I think, and caught up on a couple. And then, so now I'm totally caught up on that. I'm caught up on This Is Us. And I caught up on some other stuff. I caught up on Ink Master yesterday. And I don't know what else I've been watching. Oh, I started watching Marvel's Runaways on Hulu. And I think I'm almost halfway through episode 5, and there's 10 episodes in the first season. So, yeah, that's about it.
Oh, I forgot about the other work in progress that I'm doing that I don't have here.
Okay.
That you liked on my Instagram.
I know, because you posted it.
I know.
Right before you came over.
My alpaca that I got like sometime, last summer?
Yeah,
I
don't remember.
Probably like a year ago. I finally started washing some of it. The first batch of washing, I'm like, okay, it's good. There's, still, I didn't pick out all the vegetation out of it. And then I used my DIY hackle and I combed it all out.
Yeah.
And it came out, pretty nicely. I've spun probably almost an ounce on it, maybe like 0.75 ounces.
Okay.
And then I watched another video on a different way to wash it. So I washed some stuff that I already washed but hadn't processed yet. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much more dirt in this. So, but it's only a little bit of dirt, so I can wash the yarn when it's when it's all done.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been watching Orphan Black. Oh, I finished a book.
You also started watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, I did.
Which season 2 comes out April 25th, which is a few days after my show is over. So
I'm getting about like a half hour a day.
Yeah.
So far.
It is some pretty heavy stuff though in those episodes. So.
And I acquired the audiobook for it too, so that way I can listen to that.
Oh yeah.
See how it's different.
I was gonna say I read the book. Because
Is it close to that or?
I don't want to give anything away, even though the show's been out for like almost a year.
Because I haven't seen it.
Because you haven't seen it, so
Is the book similar or not?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, it's like they did some things that aren't in the book, and they didn't cover everything. And the book is not that big. Like it's a very thin book. They covered some things that are not. They covered some things that are not in the book. They didn't cover some things that are in the book. But season 2, they're working. I believe I saw they're working with the author of the book, and they are because you're thinking, how are they going to get 2 seasons out of this little thin book or whatever? But she's going to explore. It's going to explore things that were not touched on in the book because she just didn't.
Yeah.
But if they're working with the author, obviously, like it's not like, oh, we're just making stuff up. It's not, But season 1 and the book end the same way. I will say that much. Yes. The book was written, I think, in the 1980s or something, wasn't it?
I don't know. I was
like,
just looking up my other book, and I just realized it's also a movie.
Okay.
But yeah.
What is your other book?
Well,
oh,
so the books that I finished was a Dweller series. That's what it was.
Okay.
And then I started a new audiobook called The Darkest Minds.
Okay.
And it's a series by Alexandra Bracken. And it's pretty much a basis. It's a young adult book.
Is it dystopian?
It kind of, yeah. It's more of like the sci-fi type thing.
Oh, okay.
So, like, kids, they either pretty much all die off, or they end up having like these like superhuman natural abilities type stuff. And so the government like gets all the kids and classifies them and put them into like camps, like concentration camps.
Oh.
And
sounds like a lovely, cheerful book right there.
Yeah, so, and then there's different ones. There's like the blues, which can move things with their minds. Greens, which are the super smart ones.
Are they kind of like in, what was it, Factions, like in the Divergent series?
I guess, yeah. I guess so. And then like yellows,
or are
like
they, or
electricity.
The blues are like the Ravenclaws, and the greens are the Slytherins.
But then there's more house, or there's more.
Well, you know, I mean, there are the American houses too, so.
Yeah. And like the oranges can do like mind control. I don't really know what the reds can do because
they can win at Quidditch.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, because the reds and the oranges are like the worst ones ever.
Oh.
So blues and greens, you know, they're less likely to be killed because of people being scared of them. And one of the girls, she's an orange, and she has like convinces the person who's like sorting her to put her in with the greens. Okay. And then she hides
the sorting hat.
Yes. The sorting scientist. Because she can like wipe minds and all that.
Does the sorting scientist like sing a little song too before she sorts?
No, he does not. He just like gets a blank look.
Oh, okay.
And there's no singing. Well, actually there is some singing along with the radio.
Okay.
But and it's all the like classic rock.
Oh.
So she ends up getting broken out and then runs away from the people who was trying to help her because she was able to look into their minds, and then finds like some kids and like
she used some occlumency or something like that, like in Harry Potter, where they can go into your mind and stuff.
No, that's her whole ability. That's
I know, but she's very skilled at that. She's very skilled. What is it, Legellamons or something?
I don't know. This is not Harry Potter. She doesn't have a wand. She doesn't say any like spell work.
Unless she's saying it in her mind.
No. She just pushes through. So yeah, so their whole thing is like to find a certain camp and all this, and then try and find their way home to see if their parents, you know, are okay, except for her. She doesn't want to go home because she wiped her parents' mind.
She doesn't want to go home because she lives with people like the Dursleys. And...
No, they don't remember her. Her mind's gone.
Like Hermione wiped her parents' minds. When...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like she doesn't exist. They have no daughter.
So at school, I've been rereading the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter.
Really? I could not tell at all.
For my reading time. Well, because I finished my Frog Kisser book.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. And then, so I've been, you know, just kind of picking up the, you know, because I started last school year rereading the Harry Potter series. And so I haven't been like sitting there, oh, let me just read through this whole book. It's like, oh, well, I have a little free time now. What am I going to read? Oh, I'll read a chapter or two. Because it's not like, I mean, I've read them multiple times. So I can just put them down, pick them up anytime, whatever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is where I totally am in the story. And not go, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
So, but then last Friday, we went and saw Jekyll and Hyde at a local community theater. We saw that production. And, you know, there were parts of it that were really good.
Yes.
So
the guys could really sing.
Oh yeah, the guy that
Yeah.
played Jekyll and Hyde, both of course, obviously. He like because it's a very small theater, so there were only 4 rows of audience seating. And I don't know how many seats it was across, maybe like 15, maybe
15 or
something
20.
like that. So you know, it was a very small theater. I've seen shows there before, and so we sat. It was general admission. We sat in the 3rd row, because I didn't want to sit in the front row, because it was kind of immersive during parts, like before and during intermission and stuff. And so,
but that didn't stop them.
I know, but still, anyway, but the guy that played Jekyll and Hyde, because I've seen the show before. I saw it, you know, performed at what is now the Strass Center and didn't used to be called that. But anyway, before it went up to Broadway and did not do so well. But when you see, it was really cool seeing it up close, because they don't have like, whoever plays Jekyll and Hyde, they don't have time to like run off stage and change a costume or change like makeup or anything like about their appearance to tell you this is Jekyll, oh now this is Hyde. It's up to the actor to convey that through like facial expressions, body language, and the way that they like talk and sing. And this guy, I thought, did a phenomenal job of that.
Really
I mean,
did.
you could even just tell it in his eyes. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but like, you know, even his eyes looked different, because we were like obviously that close, being in the 3rd of 4 rows. You know, like his eyes when he was like, you know, when he was Henry Jekyll were just kind of like, you know, normal or whatever. And when he was Hyde, it wasn't like he was like, oh, like this, you know, but his eyes like got wider and just, you know, even just like the little details were, yeah, I know. It was, well, I was like, oh, his eyes got wider, but it's not like, oh, I'm surprised. I am now Edward Hyde. You know, they were like open more, but in an evil way. It's hard to describe, but but like even just the little details like that were really impressive in the production. So
they're open, but in an evil way.
Well, they weren't like open like in a shocked or surprised manner. You know.
Oh.
Anyway, the next night I went and I saw at the school where I worked previously, they were doing their play. It wasn't a musical, it was just play, and it was kind of like Noises Off, but it was called Play On, and it was one of those plays done in 3 acts, and it was like a community theater putting on a murder mystery. So it was also kind of like The Play That Goes Wrong, I think, that is coming to the Strass Center next year, that's on Broadway. But anyway, it was like a local community theater, and so Act 1 was done, all of the lights were on everywhere. Because you know, like the director would come out into the audience and stuff, you know, and it was like there was a rehearsal, and then Act 2 was like their final dress rehearsal, and then Act 3 was their first performance, and like all sorts of things went wrong, and it was really funny. And then yesterday, because this has been like all theater all the time for me lately.
I know.
Yesterday, part of my season ticket subscription included The Color Purple, so I saw The Color Purple yesterday, and I went into that not having seen the movie, read the book, or didn't really know anything about it at all. Like, I mean, I knew, like, I had heard a few songs from the show, like, on the Sirius Broadway station in my car. And, you know, I mean, I knew, like, the general time it takes place, whatever, but, like, I didn't know the plot, you know, because I had a general idea of kind of what it's about, but I didn't know, like, any of the plot points or anything like that, because I just went into it like, oh, I'm just going to go into this and see what I think. And it was really good. Like, first of all, the singing, like the music is beautiful in that show. And it was the one that was based on like the revival that was on Broadway a couple of years ago. So the music is just beautiful. The singing, the harmonies, like there were 17 people in the show, and sometimes there were, you know, even if the people were like in the wings helping support, if there were only like 5 or 6 people on the stage, like the sound they were able to get was just amazing. And the acting, everything. It was one of the, I would say it was one of the top performances I've seen this year at the Strass Center from this season. But then again, this season's been kind of meh. But it was one of the best ones I've seen, and it would probably go in one of the best. I would probably say it was one of the best shows I've seen at the Strass Center since I've seen shows at the Strass Center since 1995 or 96.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it was really good. So, and then I have this coming weekend, I have 2 concerts to attend. They're not theater, but they're concerts.
Yes.
And then the next weekend, I get to see The Bodyguard, the musical based on the Whitney Houston movie featuring the music of Whitney Houston, and that should be interesting.
But not Whitney Houston.
And then I have like a week off, and then or a week or two, maybe a week off, and then I'm in a show for 2 weekends.
And I will be seeing that one.
And the weekend after I'm in the show, the weekend after my show's over, will be our final show at the Strass Center for the season, which is Waitress, which I saw in New York. So it'll be interesting to see how the tour compares with what we saw.
Yeah, because you really like that one.
I did. And I think
the hat.
And I think that I'm going to like the tour because I've seen little clips of it online, and I you know, follow some of the people that are on tour on Instagram and everything. So I think it looks like it's going to be a good one. So,
awesome.
Yep.
Yesterday I raked a whole bunch of leaves.
Oh.
And I was doing a lot of yard work.
Yes. So our friend Mike went with me to see The Color Purple.
Yes.
And then he went home and watched the movie The Color Purple. And then I pulled out my Kindle and I had a copy of the book, so I started like reading the book. But just because I was like, I want to see what are the differences and everything. Because my friend Heidi was with us, and Heidi had read the book and had never seen the movie. I know my mother has seen the movie. I hadn't seen any of it. So I started reading the book yesterday because Heidi was like, you should read the book. It's a really easy read, and it really is an easy read. So I'll probably read that over spring break and get it done.
Yep.
So, but that's about it, I think, for me.
Yeah, that's it for me. Yeah, I haven't watched really anything. I did my few audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram as PearlyGirl75 and
Knits and Bits.
We also are on YouTube, Two Crafty Stitches. The Crafty is with a K. We have our blog, which is twocraftystitches.wordpress.com. And also, Two Crafty Stitches is our Twitter handle.
Yes. We are most active on the Instagrams.
Yes.
Well, happy crafting, everyone.
Bye.